Backrooms, the new scary film that's out right now, written and directed by Kane Pixel. Now, if you don't know who Kane Pixel is, he is a young man when he was like, I think 14, 15, about almost 10 years ago. He made that viral sensation of a short horror film called The Backrooms, where a kid falls down and he ends up in these maze-like yellow rooms, like this right here, what you see on my TV. And it goes on and on and on, and the more it goes on, the more weird and confusing it gets. It was so successful and so viral, and it actually was effective on the horror elements. A24 offered this young man a contract to make a movie with them. And now we have Backrooms. The quality of this movie, when you tell me that this is a kid who went from YouTube to making movies now, I'd probably call you a liar. But then again, most creative people are on YouTube, and they usually are the type of people that if you just give them a chance to show their creative side, they will shine with vivid colors. That is usually the case with most of these YouTubers nowadays who become film directors. Look at Raka Raka, Talk to Me and Bring Her Back. Look at what's his name, Clay Barker. Now he's had Obsession. But back to the movie in hand. I'm not even talking about the movie. I'm just talking about the achievement of this young man, Kane Pixel, which honestly kind of makes me a hater since he's younger than me. He's already more successful. But nonetheless, Backrooms basically follows a man whose name I cannot remember right now. He owns a furniture store, and life is pretty shit for him right now. He's down in his luck. He got kicked out of his house. His wife don't want nothing to do with him. He's broke as shit. He's past doing his payments for his store. Nobody comes to his furniture store to buy shit. Nobody respects him, right? And then he comes across the Backrooms. And then I'm not going to reveal too much of where the story goes from there, because the trailer doesn't. You might have an idea of where it's going to go, but not really. I usually am at the point in my life where I'm kind of getting tired of certain psychological horror films, because more often than not, I feel like a lot of them kind of hit the same type of psychological thinking, if that makes sense. Like, it's always usually the same thing with most of these psychological horror films. A lot more often it's about like, oh, it's a psychological horror film that focuses on the idea of grief, of loss in the family, of loss of someone close to you, distrust, toxic relationships. A lot of horror films, and I'm not trying to bash them because some of them are able to pull it off better than most, but a lot of horror films seem to just think that when they make elevated horror, they have to talk about those topics: grief, betrayal, stuff like that. And it gets a bit tiring to me. Not with this movie. Some of the subject matters that are the issue with our main character are kind of more real world, if that makes sense. Like, you can't tell me sometimes we do feel as if we're alone. Sometimes we feel like we just don't know how to communicate with one another. That's why we have so much misunderstanding going on in the world. And you have a character like the main guy in this movie, whose name I cannot remember for the life of me for some reason, who goes through that type of stuff. Now, the difference is how you react to it. I'm going to let y'all just see how this movie plays out for that part. There is a sequence in here where we get like a little throwback to how he made his first found footage film with the handheld camera, like the little VHS handheld camera. We get a whole entire sequence in here where there is some scary shit going on with that handheld sequence of a camera, and I appreciate it so much. I think it elevated just the jump scares in itself. And I won't even say they were jump scares. They were more so just like shit that was happening, and it was just terrifying to see in the way of like a low quality video such as that VHS camera. He did not use special effects on some of these creatures, or whatever you want to call the things in there, right? In fact, he casted this motherfucker in the movie. And in case you don't know who this motherfucker is, or what other movie he was in, let me show you. As soon as I heard that this man was going to be in this movie, I knew they had something in store to disturb us with. When I saw the reveal of what it was, I'm not gonna lie, I was a bit complexed. I admired it greatly because it was practical effects, and with everything going on, it made perfect sense. I think maybe I was just so baffled by it that I wasn't as scared as I probably should have been. More so just, okay, what the fuck? Otherwise, I actually really like this film a whole lot. And I also appreciate some of the shots and the camera cinematography in here when it's not the handheld camera and it looks like an actual film. The contrast of colors in here, I feel, are amazing. It reminds me of like when Better Call Saul, when it had that low, noisy quality look to it. And then we jump to season 4, boom, HD, color, contrast. Look at this person's pimples. This is one of those movies where I can't wait till it's available in 4K for me to buy, because I'm going to watch it on the biggest 4K screen I can find to watch it on. Otherwise, Backrooms. I think the final rating I'm going to give this movie is I'm going to give it a 3.8 out of 5. 3.8 out of 5. That's still pretty high. Just something was missing for me to give it a 4. Or maybe it's just I didn't get the amount of like fear and scare as I wanted. Either way, that doesn't take away from the fact that this movie is a spectacular film. It's a spectacular achievement for Kane Pixel and for everyone involved, I think, in my opinion. And I think you should take this movie as inspiration. That if you're a young artist, or not so young artist, you should take this into account that anyone, if you put your mind into it, if you put your heart and soul into it, you can achieve that major success that you want so desperately. If you just thug it out. And I think this movie, I got no other words to say. Yeah. So it's your boy Jared Gunza. Backrooms 3.8 out of 5. Go see it.